global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Global Happenings today. A lot of things are brewing up against Peter Obi right now. A lot of propaganda, digging up of the past is going on both offline and online. Critics, propagandists, those who definitely do not like the larger than life, the perfect picture being propagated for Peter Obi for presidency come 2023. They're about to burst the bubble and just digging up his past with so much facts and figures, videos, and all that to show for a document where it looks like Peter Obi, having known his past, seemed to be prepared as more facts and documents are coming up. They've actually involved EFCC. A lot of people are talking about the petitions against him. We're going to get that out in a moment. You're going to get all the juicy details on that and where Peter Obi stands. Is it truly fraudulent, as they keep calling about him, or is it better than most? And actually, they can't take it. You're going to find out in a moment. And of course, the story that has been going on, that has become a widespread issue, where they said Peter Obi actually murdered a lot of MASSOB members. This will also be discussed in this particular video, as everything was trashed out, going way back in his 2 tenures as the governor of Anambra State and his stand today, and what the fate of Nigerians are having voiced Peter Obi as a presidential aspirant. Let's go straight into the news to find out all this put into one very quickly. Civil rights group International Society for Liberties and Rule of Law Inter-Society has disclosed that the organization has no petition whatsoever against former Anambra governor and now presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, pending before the Economic and Financial Crime Commission, EFCC. Inter-Society, in a statement released in Onitsha on Tuesday, signed by its board chairman Emeka Umagbalasi and 2 other principal officers of the organization, Chinwe Umache and Chidema Udegbunam, frowned at what it called the resurgence of frivolous publications and out-of-date others on social media aimed at misrepresentation of facts and politicization of same, so as to portray certain respected persons in a bad light. The group clarified that in 2009, during the first tenure of Peter Obi as Anambra governor, he was accused of moving 250 million naira to be laundered, and Inter-Society took the matter up and petitioned the EFCC and the Inspector General of Police, urging the duo to forensically investigate Obi and recommend appropriately if he was found involved. Inter-Society said it also launched its own investigation. I take that again. Inter-Society said it also launched its own investigation, and in the end, it was discovered that the matter was a setup oiled by Obi's political opponents, who secretly placed some of his clerical aides under secret monthly pay so as to monitor and wire every movement made by the then governor for malicious reasons. The group said that investigation then found out that the 250 million naira was meant for physical cash purchase of dozens of fairly used vehicles for some top government appointees that operated for years without official cars, while the vehicles were for pay on delivery at Lagos. It also revealed that EFCC and the Nigerian Police Force authorities, after their respective investigations, found Obi not involved in money laundering, and vehicles were later purchased, delivered, and deployed. It's regretted that since then, hired and paid agents have formed the habit of resurrecting the online version of the petition, especially prior to or during important electioneering periods. This they do with intent to misinform and mislead the public and denigrate the person and character of the respected former Anambra State Governor, Peter Obi. They did it in 2010 during the first staggered governorship election in Anambra State, and repeated same in 2013 during Obiano's first election, 2015 during the presidential election, 2017 during Obiano's second election against Oselo or Seloka Obazi and others. 2019, during Buhari's second election against Atiku Obi and others, and it's been repeated following the conclusion of the presidential primaries and nearness of the all-important 2023 presidential poll. In another spurious allegation flying on the internet, presently alleging that Obi was behind the dumping of corpses in Ezu River during the twin light of his tenure as governor in 2013, Inter-Society also said linking Obi to Ezu River police stars killings amounts to pure stigmatization and false labeling. It must be placed on irrefutable record that Inter-Society and Anambra CLO to an extent was the only human rights group that forensically investigated Ezu River police stars killings and followed up and defended same up to the office of the then DIG for criminal investigation, now retired DIG Peter Ghana, in April 2013. As captioned above, the killings were solely perpetrated by police stars under retired CSP James Nwafo and then CP Bala. The victims were detainees arrested and detained at Akuzu, Nene and Newi SARS detention facilities, and among the slain victims were 9 members of MASOB and others numbering about 30 accused of perpetrating violent crimes. Just like in the case of the 250 million falsely labeled, the politically hired or paid agents have also formed the habit of resurrecting on social media the Ezu River police SARS killings following the nearness of the 2023 presidential polls. This they did in 2013 and they repeated in 2015, 2017 and 2019, and it is being repeated following the conclusion of the presidential primaries and nearness of the all-important 2023 presidential polls. The most unfortunate and annoying of it all was linking Inter-Society with such publications in bad faith, especially by making them look like newly issued statements. Another worrying part of it was a clear misrepresentation of facts in connection with some happenings in the past targeted at demonstrations of certain respected persons. The malicious publication circumstances and circumstantially speaking strongly bears trademarks of integrity challenged Igbo politicians working for their selfish aggrandizement, or for the integrity challenged political gladiators from outside the Southeast region who pioneered the hateful and discriminatory policy of born to rule and born to be ruled. Inter-Society disclosed that its leaders were doggedly committed to ballot revolution and actualization of Nigerian presidency. It must further be stated that the ballot revolution and presidency are far beyond that Peter Obi can handle as a person, and as such, the respected former Anambra governor only symbolizes the priceless and sacrificial project collectively seeking, among other things, for dignity and honor, particular and other suppressed ethnic nationalities in general. That is to say that Peter Obi ballot tsunami is a resonance or reawakening, a new wind of change that has hit the airwaves of the Nigerian landscape and polity, irrespective of cultural or ethnic, religious, gender and class divides, the group said. Wow, that's quite a long read, and it took time to explain everything. The hype over Biafra agitators being killed some time ago, the hype over where the Muslims have been, they were hated, the hype over the fact that the Pandora's box, or the hype over the 250 million, a lot of hypes were just quickly trashed it. Let's put in our comment section what's your take. Honestly, even if he did it, if you check what others have done, he looks like even a better one. You know, these days now, we don't look at Nigerian corruption is 5 and 6. The funny thing is that there are levels of corruption. There's some corruption that is in hundreds, some are in millions. Now we are seeing it in billions and trillions. If they say you should choose, unfortunately in Nigeria, you would prefer the ones of hundreds if there's anyone still remaining like that. That's exactly where we found ourselves in. Let's put in our comment section what's your take. I feel that more of this will come. Peter Obi should get ready and get thick skin. More.